Nakakatawa naman talaga itong si Atty. Topacio. Naghain ng contempt petition sa Supreme Court laban kay Larry Gadon. Pero hindi lang dapat si Larry Gadon ang kasama dyan sa complaint na yan? Look over social media. Madami po, as in napakadami na, ang mga hindi sang-ayon sa naging desisyon ng Supreme Court. Yung iba nga dyan halos mura-murahin din ang Supreme Court. Hindi ba dapat suyurin nitong si Topacio ang social media? At lahat ng hindi sang-ayon, isama niya dyan sa complaint na yan. Aba, baka magsiksikan dyan sa kulungan. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Naimbag na aldaw, kanya yung aming kakabsat. And welcome back to my channel. Pero bago po yan, meron po tayong isang napakagandang balita. Ayon po dito sa The Manila Times, Marcos ratings rebound. VP Sara's drop in Okta survey. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s trust and performance ratings rebounded in the second quarter, according to the latest survey released by Okta Research. The pollster said Vice President Sara Duterte's trust and performance ratings declined significantly from the previous quarter. In the survey conducted from July 12 to 17, 2025, Marcos's trust rating increased to 64%, up by 4% from the previous quarter, while his performance rating also increased by 3 percentage points to 62%. Sara Duterte's trust rating declined to 54%, while her performance rating slid by 6 percentage points to 50%. Meanwhile, Senate President Francis Escudero's trust and performance ratings declined by 4 percentage points to 51% and 49% respectively, while Speaker Martin Romualdez's trust and performance ratings increased to 57% and 59% respectively. Hindi na po natin pagtatakhan kung bakit bumaba ang trust and performance ratings ni Vice President Sara Duterte at ni Senate President Chis Escudero. Hindi na po pagtatakhan yan, I tell you. At natural, maglalabasan na naman ang mga DDS trolls at babatikusin itong pagtaas ng ratings ni President Bongbong Marcos at ni Speaker of the House, Martin Romualdez. Pansinin ninyo, talaga pong sobra ang mga trolls ngayon. Ang mga DDS trolls. Walang humpay, walang puknat na paninira sa ating presidente at sa gobyerno nito. At yan po ay magtatagal hanggang 2028. Dahil yan po ang kanilang plano sa ngayon. Hindi nila mapabagsak si President Bongbong Marcos, so lalakasan pa nila ang kanilang puwersa sa social media, magpapakalat ng kung ano-anong mga negative at mga fake news para ikondisyon ang taong bayan na walang nangyayari sa Pilipinas sa ilalim ni President Bongbong Marcos. Pakinggan nyo nga itong mga mensahe ni Sara Duterte sa kanyang mga trips abroad. Talagang gagawin niyang world tour, no? Lahat ng klaseng paninira, bawat salita ni President Bongbong, meron siyang negative na sasabihin. Kung narinig nyo na rin, yung nag-walk out na representative na si Pulong Duterte sa nakaraang SONA, ang mga banat ni Baste Duterte laban sa ating presidente. Yan pong lahat na yan kasama sa grand scheme. At hindi nga ba may narinig tayo, China-funded daw itong mga trolls na to para siraan si President Bongbong Marcos. Pero I tell you, hindi po sila magtatagumpay. Nasaan na ba yung mga nag-akusa kay President Bongbong Marcos na drug addict, na bangag, na pinagmumura pa siya? Hindi ba't mga nakakulong na? At madadagdagan pa rin po yan mga nakakulong na yan. So, magandang balita po ito. Trust rating sa performance rating ni President Bongbong Marcos ay umaarangkada pataas, samantalang padausdos ng padausdos ang kay Sara Duterte. Okay, mabalik po tayo dito sa inihain na contempt petition ni Atty. Topacio kay Larry Gadon. Then narinig nyo naman na siguro yung mga binitawang salita ni Larry Gadon laban sa Supreme Court. Aba, kung tutuusin, hindi lang po si Larry Gadon ang nagbibitaw ng ganyang salita. Napakarami po. Bumisita na lang kayo sa social media, from mere mortals like us, from ordinary citizens like me and you, hanggang sa mga iba't ibang panig ng society, hanggang sa mga abogado, hanggang sa mga miyembro ng lawyers group, hanggang sa mga former justices ng Supreme Court. Wala po kayong maririnig kundi ang pagtutol sa naging desisyon ng Supreme Court. Para bang ang nangyayari unconstitutional nga ba yung articles of impeachment o unconstitutional itong naging desisyon ng Supreme Court? Ang naniniwala na lang po sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema, natural, si Sara Duterte, si Chis Escudero, yung mga pro-Sara senators at yung mga DDS. Maliban sa kanila, the rest of the population ay hindi po sang-ayon sa naging desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Na kahit na ang mga abogado sa baluarte ni Sara Duterte, mga Davao lawyers, ay pumalag po dito sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Sabi ng mga Davao lawyers, Supreme Court ruling on impeach case a loss for democracy. Davao lawyers consider the recent Supreme Court decision on the impeachment case against Vice President Sara Duterte a loss for democracy and accountability. Yan po ang sinabi ni Lawyer Arvin Dexter Lopos, tagapagsalita ng Union of People's Lawyers in Mindanao o yung UPLM. Dahil sila po ay hindi sang-ayon sa ginawa ng Supreme Court na nagdagdag ng napakaraming requirements dyan sa impeachment process, making it even harder for ordinary Filipinos to file an impeachment complaint against an impeachable officer. Pati po ang FLAG o yung FLAG, the oldest network ng human rights lawyers sa bansa, ay dumagdag sa mga grupong laban sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Ayon po rito sa Inquirer, dangerous. FLAG joins critics of Supreme Court ruling on VP impeach raps. The oldest network of human rights lawyers in the country has added its voice to the controversy over the Supreme Court ruling on Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment case as it urged the High Court to reconsider its decision declaring the articles of impeachment unconstitutional. Pero sa tingin ninyo, magpapatinag ang Supreme Court? Eh di napahiya sila kung babalik ta rin nila yung kanilang desisyon. Pustahan tayo, maninindigan ang Supreme Court na unconstitutional yung articles of impeachment. Dahil may nakikita tayong parang puwersa dito eh. May mga gumagalaw sa likod ng mga pangyayaring ito mula sa Senado hanggang sa Supreme Court. Well, yan naman po ay personal ko lang opinion, pero nababasa ko yung mga opinion ng ibang tao at sila po ay napakarami na pareho kami ng opinion. May mga gumagalaw sa likod ng Senado hanggang sa Supreme Court. At hindi naman po yan nakatakas sa mapanuring mata ng mga Pilipino. Sabi ni Theodore T., dating spokesperson ng Supreme Court, to our mind, the decision, if not reconsidered, creates a dangerous precedent that seriously undermines impeachment as the ultimate accountability mechanism under the Constitution. The group maintained that the impeachment complaints against Duterte were validly filed, adding that this should thus have been sufficient to commence the duty of the Senate as an impeachment tribunal to forthwith proceed with the trial of the Vice President. So nakikita po natin na padami ng padami mula sa ordinaryong mamamayan hanggang sa mga dating kasapi ng Korte Suprema. Kahit yung framers ng Constitution, hindi po sumang-ayon sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Na hindi naman nakakapagtaka at hindi naman pwedeng baliwalain ang duda ng mga tao kung bakit nagkaganyan. Mantakin mo ba naman na halos lahat ng Supreme Court justices ay appointee ni former President? Gusto ko pong i-share sa inyo itong sinulat ni Retired Associate Justice Adolfo S. Ascuna. Basahin ko po. The Principal Casualty by Adolfo S. Ascuna. The principal casualty of the Supreme Court decision applying new rules on impeachment is the principle of accountability. As most impartial observers agree, the Supreme Court's newly pronounced definition of initiate, contrary to its own prevailing definition, would not only be unfair if applied retroactively, but would even as applied prospectively unduly constrain the House of Representatives in the exercise of its exclusive power to initiate all cases of impeachment. Note that we are here concerned with the accountability of public officers. The principal mechanism adopted by Article 11 of the Constitution to enforce accountability of the highest officials is impeachment. This is a sui generis procedure so that normal requirements of notice and due process are subordinated to the overarching demand for accountability. It is good to bear in mind the nature of public office. Public office is a public trust. It is not a property owned by the occupant. The principles of due process, therefore, do not strictly apply to protect its occupants from scrutiny and possible removal. The Constitution provides that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Someone being impeached does not stand to be deprived of life, nor of liberty, much less of property. So, what is the constitutional basis for insisting on applying due process rules in all phases of impeachment? None. Recall that the 1935 Constitution required two-thirds vote of the House to impeach and three-fourths vote of the Senate to convict. We, in the 1986 Constitutional Commission, deliberately made it easier to impeach and convict high officials by reducing the vote required to impeach in the House to only one-third and the vote in the Senate to convict to only two-thirds. In short, the intent of the present Constitution is to make accountability easier to enforce. Note too that the rule-making power given to Congress in Article 11, Section 3, Subsection 8 of the present Constitution states the purpose of the implementing rules to effectively carry out the purpose of this section. The new rules of the Supreme Court in its decision, unless reconsidered, would add a plethora of requirements ranging from prior notice and hearing to attaching the evidence to requiring proof that the representatives read and understood the charges and the supporting evidence. All this will effectively render it almost impossible to carry out the intended accountability procedure. Furthermore, if allowed to stand, it will, to my mind, effectively amend and, God forbid, derail the Constitution, which even the Supreme Court has no power to do. Finally, the powers granted the House of Representatives to initiate all cases of impeachment and the Senate to try and decide the same are what we call constituent powers. That is, sovereign powers specifically assigned and lodged by the Constitution to a specific and particular organ or body of government. And the cardinal rule in regard to constituent powers is that where the Constitution puts it, there it should lie. The Supreme Court cannot be the one to craft the rules to enforce Article 11 of the Constitution. The reason for this is because the Supreme Court members are themselves impeachable officials. So, they cannot be the ones to define the rules for their own possible impeachment. This would go against the very heart of due process. No one can be the judge in one's own case. Nemo debet judex in sua causa. Thank you. Respectfully yours, Adolfo S. Ascuna. So patunay po na araw-araw nadadagdagan ang mga grupo, ang mga individual na nagpoprotesta diyan sa inilabas na desisyon ng Korte Suprema na sinabing unconstitutional ang ginawa ng House of Representatives. Basta sa ngayon, ang Senado, ang Korte Suprema at si Sara Duterte ay nagkakaisa laban sa majority ng mga Pilipino na nagsasabing mali ang desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Sa tingin ninyo, i-reconsider nga ba ng Supreme Court ang kanilang desisyon? I doubt. Comment lang po down below and I will see you in my next video. Diyos ti Agnina.